Part 71. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 702. Huo Family. Mrs. Huo Tianwen, Huo Yangxing, Xia Yangkaiu, and Xia Yu were all there. The family gathered around a long table, frowning as they looked through 10 freshly prepared paternity tests. Like countless times before, the identification conclusion supports that Huo Shiyun is Mrs. Huo's biological daughter. Except for Xia Yangkaiu, Xia Yu, and Huo Yangxing, who didn't feel anything about it, Mrs. Huo and Huo Tianwen were both disappointed. Huo Tianwen was puzzled. Is it true that our Huo family has such a genetic mutation? He really didn't want to admit that Huo Shiyun was related to him by blood. But the evidence is right in front of you, making it impossible to refute. That's all. Mrs. Huo waved her hand tiredly. I have done enough for her these years. I don't care what happens to her in the future. When she comes out of the dark room of silence, let her move out of the Huo family. Except for Huo Shiyun, who has always stayed with the Huo family, the other Huo family members also have their own properties. Madame Huo leaned back on her chair and looked much older in an instant. Xia Yangkaiu gave her a hammer on the shoulder and just said, "Mom, you are too tired, please rest more." The Huo family has sent 60 A-level evolvers to join the Supernatural Management Bureau. These evolvers have gone through systematic training, which indeed made Xia Yangkaiu feel a lot more relaxed. Okay. Mrs. Huo clapped her hand and said gently, I know it is difficult for you to apply for a premium account in Eternity. Mom has got several 5-star accounts for you. Mom also has some secrets. You can read more when the time comes. If you can find a way to reach 6 stars, that would be great. 6-star accounts can only be improved through the player's efforts and cannot be distributed or inherited. But the students who can graduate from the inner courtyard of Eternal Academy all have 6-star accounts without exception. There is no specific method on how to upgrade a 5-star account. It depends more on luck. Only 6-star accounts have the Abyss mode, a brainwave linking method, which can increase the time ratio between holographic games and reality to 100:1, greatly increasing the time for players to learn and practice. Xia Yangkaiu remembered them one by one. Thank you, Mom. Mrs. Huo warned again, if there is anything else you must tell Mom. Mom knows that you won't be able to get used to the change in status in a short period of time, but the Huo family will always be your strongest support. Xia Yangkaiu's heart suddenly shook. She smiled and said, I know. When your identity is announced tomorrow night, you and I will go to Xia's house. Mrs. Huo's eyes were a little colder. I want to see how they treat you as their daughter. After finding Xia Yangkaiu, Huo Tianwen immediately asked someone to investigate what happened that year. It was a long time ago, more than 40 years ago. Technology was not developed at that time, and even mobile phones had just been invented. It can only be traced to this point in time that Mrs. Xia did give birth to a daughter in the hospital. The Xia family was also unable to enter the free continent, and everything was back to square one. Xia Yangkaiu shook his head lightly. Mom, no need, I have nothing to do with their family. Mrs. Huo said, everything depends on you. Xia Yu stood up and said with a casual expression, Mom, I'm going back to Daxia first. Xia Yangkaiu looked at him, where are you going? You are about to take the monthly exam in the inner courtyard. If you don't prepare quickly, where are you going to fool around? Recording the show. Xia Yu waved his hand, I'll be back after Mr. Si finishes recording. Oh, Xia Yangkaiu said happily, then go quickly. Don't let Qing Qing wait alone. It's okay if you don't come back. Xia Yu. The double standard also depends on her mother. Dongzhou. Historic Relics Program Group. After learning about Ji Xingzi's purpose, the director dropped the thermos cup in his hand and his eyes were dull. You mean, you can join this program? Yes, Ji Xingzi said casually, you came to Dongzhou just to find the Ji family. Isn't it a pity to use a ready-made living person like me? The director was silent. This is the truth. But the status of the eldest young master of the G family is too noble, and he really doesn't dare to use it. The director hesitated. Mr. Kiji, don't you need to keep this secret? Ji Xingzi was stunned for a moment. Oh, it won't be long. According to Ji Chenyuan's prediction, the Ji family will not survive until the end of the year. The director spoke tentatively. I wonder how Mr. Ji met Miss Si. Well, to be honest, I was beaten by my eldest brother before I succumbed to her fist. Ji Xingzi sighed. Later it proved that holding my eldest brother's thigh was a worthwhile life. Okay. The director's mouth twitched. He suddenly understood why Si fucking didn't want to recognize this young master. The producer became interested. Mr. G, can you demonstrate the onmyoji technique? Okay. Ji Xingzi snapped his fingers casually. A small paper figure flew out of his pocket, danced in the air, and bowed towards the producer. Producer. He was just talking casually. He wiped his face, turned back to the staff and said, this section will have to be cut when the time comes. Otherwise, the variety show would not be able to pass the review. The director briefly explained the rules of the program to Ji Xingzi and asked him to live broadcast with other guests. With Ji Xingzi here, more viewers poured into the live broadcast room. Si fucking also had a lot of leisure time, walking and chatting with Zhang Changning. Yungzi, why didn't the director find a place to rest? Zhang Qiang took off the microphone and complained, how long have we watched Emperor Yin? I know he is great, but he is also a dead person. If he dies, it's so annoying to die. Si fucking's footsteps suddenly stopped. Zhang Changning also stopped walking. Si. Si fucking turned his head and walked towards Zhang Qiang step by step. Zhang Qiang was startled and was forced into a corner. What are you going to do? Just a dead man? Without him, would you still be where you are now? Si fucking said softly, you are so good at talking, why don't you try it on the battlefield? You don't know how to cherish the life you are enjoying now. No one forces you to participate in the show. Shut your mouth. Boom. Ah. Zhang Qiang let out a scream, which was so frightening that she became incontinent. Her legs were weak and she was trembling, unable to stand firmly. Si fucking's expression was calm. I'm sorry, I couldn't hold myself back. She lowered her fists. Kaka. Several cracks appeared in the wall, starting from where the fist was applied. There was dead silence. The photographer was stunned, forgot to move the camera, and recorded it clearly. Holy crap, my goddess knows martial arts, right? Is this a wall, not a foam board? Hiss. So scary. No wonder teacher Yuan Heping publicly said that he did not want to have a martial arts scene with Ching Ching. Who can stop King Bao's punches? Zhang Qiang collapsed on the ground, her expression still frightened. At that moment, she really felt that Si fucking was going to kill her. How could a top star explode with the momentum that only a superior person can have? Zhang Changning sighed, I'm afraid she will go online and say that you are good at using violence to bully the weak. Si fucking was non-committal, I didn't hit her, I hit the wall. Looking at the wall with several cracks, Zhang Changning fell into silence for a long time. What a strange woman this is. Si fucking slowly exhaled and murmured, it's just that sometimes it's not worth it for him. Zhang Changning was startled, Si fucking shook his head, nothing. Due to a sudden breakdown, filming was temporarily suspended, and the program crew returned to their temporary base. Zhang Qiang the producer said with a cold expression, pack up your things and leave. Don't let me say it a second time. You and Yungzi will also leave together. Zhang Qiang's face turned pale. Producer Lu, why? What did you do, and you still want me to tell you? The producer said coldly, have you forgotten what you have done since teacher Si came to the show team? I can't see that the audience is disgusting. You. He put the background barrage data directly in front of Zhang Qiang. Why doesn't Zhang Qiang have a long memory? I have never seen such a person who keeps putting his face up to be beaten by the goddess. It's fun to have her around. Ugly people tend to cause mischief. Thanks to Zhang Qiang, otherwise I wouldn't know that King King's treasure could continue to be mined. Zhang Qiang's face turned even paler. The producer pointed at the door, "Get out of here right now." "I don't." "You don't know, right? Mr. Yu is our Yungzi's boyfriend." Zhang Qiang gritted his teeth. "Besides, we signed a contract and we must abide by the terms of the contract. The show hasn't been filmed yet. If you let me leave, I will expose you online for not keeping your word. In addition, you also have to see if your program team can offend Mr. Yu." The director frowned. After the incident with the Yu family happened, no one in the entire Daxia Empire knew about Yu Xian. Although Yu Xian has never shown any specific identity, it is not difficult to guess that he has a wide range of industries and connections. Otherwise, it would be impossible for the Yu group to change ownership overnight. Yu Xian is a mystery, and this mystery makes other people afraid. No one knows how capable he is. "Yungzi, please speak." Zhang Qiang was a little anxious. "I know you have a cool temper, but others are stepping on you, you can't." Yungzi was about to speak when the sound of brakes sounded. A black, low-key car stopped on the side of the road. The director recognized that this was the car that picked up Sci-fi last time, so he hurriedly said, "Teacher C's boyfriend is here, please leave first. This is a matter for the crew, and we have dedicated people to solve it." Zhang Qiang glanced at the black car opposite and snorted softly. Now she was even more sure that Sci-fi didn't have a boyfriend at all, he was just the pretty boy Sci-fi kept. She didn't even bother to drive this kind of garbage truck. If the fans who were attracted by Sci-fi knew that she was so confused in the relationship between men and women, would they continue to like her? "It's okay, don't be in a hurry right now." Sci-fi stepped forward slowly and knocked on the car door. "Brother Ninth, stop sitting in the car and come down to meet your other girlfriend. See you tomorrow. I have done more than 200 nucleic acid tests this year. I am really tied to Q after having everything taken away." She returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 703. As soon as these words came out, the entire crew fell silent. The director looked a little horrified. Did he say something wrong that caused Teacher C's partner to dare to step on both sides of the aisle? Zhang Qiang's expression also became mocking. There is no such thing as true love in the entertainment industry. I didn't expect that a top-class guy like Sci-fi could not control his own man. Zhang Qiang thought so and said this, "That can't be compared to Yungzi." Yungzi was placed in Mr. Yu's hands. Her voice stopped abruptly. It was as if someone had pinched my throat, and I couldn't say anything. The black car door opened, and the first thing that came into view was a pair of slender and powerful legs. The man was wearing a dark gray suit, shirt, and tie. He wears an old-fashioned RM watch on his wrist, which is no less noble. There has never been a man who could combine terror and elegance to the extreme. No one could fail to recognize this face. The entire crew fell into a dead silence. Yu Xian didn't look at anyone else, but bent down slightly and whispered, "Second girlfriend." "Yes," Sci-fi said calmly, "why didn't you tell me when you handed it in, so I could help you take a look? I can also help you check up, right? Anyway, I also like beautiful girls, and the three of us can live together." The second sentence made Yu Xian pause. He raised his auspicious eyes and glanced accurately at the pale-faced Yungzi and the stunned Zhang Qiang. The breath became dangerous in an instant. The director couldn't help but tremble. "Mr. Yu, it's like this." "I understand." Yu Xian raised his hand, indicating that he didn't need to explain more. The director immediately shut up. He began to think about what this Mr. Yu did. Why did he want to shout "Long live your majesty, long live, long live, long live your majesty" as soon as he saw him? As soon as this thought came to mind, the director secretly cursed himself. He must have watched too many costume dramas. No one else. He kissed her on the lips and smiled softly, really no one. Si fucking. How could he launch a double attack on her in front of so many people? Sure enough, the enemy has no reason at all. After swearing the sovereignty, Yu Xian straightened up and said in a cool tone, "Feng San." Feng San immediately got down from the driver's seat and said in a cold voice, maliciously tarnishing Mr. Yu's reputation and spreading rumors about Mr. Yu's private life. "Please wait for this lady to be prosecuted." God knows that just now, he was almost scared to death. Feng San actually admires Zhang Qiang deeply. There really is such a person who dares to hit the iron wall like Yu Xian. "I didn't," Zhang Qiang finally reacted and panicked, "I didn't say it. I don't want to be sued, I don't want it. Even the Yu family was taken care of, how could she escape alone?" The director spoke gently, "Miss Zhang Qiang, we have surveillance video here." Zhang Qiang's face turned even paler, and her ears buzzed. Are Si fucking and Yu Xian boyfriend and girlfriend? How did they meet? Why did Si fucking never say anything? Yu Xian has a distinguished status. Even if Si fucking mentions it, she will not target him repeatedly in the program. And she kept saying that Biangzi was Yu Xian's girlfriend. Didn't it become a joke? Zhang Qiang simply couldn't understand what Si fucking did. Feng San looked at Biangzi again and sneered, "It seems that this shameless young lady didn't stay in the trash can enough last time and wants to try again." There was silence again. The crew reacted quickly. Biangzi was actually thrown into the trash can by Yu Xian's subordinates. It seems that netizens are right, she is indeed going to be a mistress. Ji Xingzi was shocked and said, "Wow, you are awesome. You even want to pry off my eldest brother's wall. Why don't you see if you are worthy? Wow, 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 the ignorant are indeed fearless." Under the gaze of everyone, Biangzi's body swayed. Her face turned pale, and there was no color even on her lips. She never expected this to be revealed. Why did Si fucking completely act out of common sense? "Since you haven't stayed enough, then stay a little longer," Feng San said. He glanced around and found no larger trash can. So he just dumped all the garbage in the nearby trash cans on Biangzi. Biangzi didn't dare to move, and looked in such a miserable state. Her second plan to climb into bed was completely aborted before it could be implemented. Miss Zhang, since you have caused irreparable reputational damage to the program team during the contract period, the program team also has the right to file a lawsuit against you," the producer finally said. "As for the specifics, the program team will contact you directly, your company." Yu Xian rubbed Si fucking's head, "Let's go." After the two left, Zhang Changning and Zhang Changfeng also said goodbye to the program team. Ji Xingzi, on the other hand, had a great time and started reading people's palms. With a bang, the director locked Zhang Qiang and Biangzi out. Both of them were feeling cold. Zhang Qiang stood dumbfounded for a few seconds, then suddenly reacted and became furious. "Mr. Yu is obviously not your boyfriend, how can you say he is? It makes it impossible for her to climb into the ranks of celebrities and powerful people, and she can't even survive in the entertainment industry." "I never said it," Biangzi also yelled angrily, "it's you who keeps saying it. You interrupt me even if I want to deny it. What does this have to do with me?" "You're talking nonsense." Zhang Qiang grabbed Biangzi's hair, raised her hand and slapped her on the face. "It's obvious that you deliberately induced me. You also set Mr. Yu's photo as the screensaver on your mobile phone, and you even showed a shy expression." Biangzi was in pain and burst into tears. "Is the screensaver my boyfriend? Do you care what my screensaver looks like? You are pretending." "Are you still pretending?" Zhang Qiang sneered repeatedly, I know what your intention is. You don't deny it because you think you can get to the top just by climbing on the bed. What now? Mr. Yu's girlfriend is SI fucking. You are so ridiculous. She is so versatile and has a good figure and good looks. How can you compare her with SI fucking? Bah, you don't deserve it. Byungzi was hit in a painful spot and became furious. She rushed forward and started fighting with Zhang Qiang. The two of them didn't notice at all that a paparazzi had already captured the scene. The paparazzi happily got into the car with the camera in hand. The performance at the end of the year has been achieved, and he wants to make a breakthrough. At this moment, Xie family. Everyone in the room looked solemn. Since the collapse of the Yu family, the Xie family, which has in-depth business ties with the Yu family, has also been greatly affected. Especially Mr. Xie and Mr. Xie are both sick. The Xie family is currently in an embarrassing situation of being out of business, and no one can support it. What's going on with the third sister? A lady complained dissatisfiedly. My father and eldest brother are both so sick, and she doesn't even care. Who knows where she went? Another middle-aged man shook his head, but I did find out that her son is a top figure in the entertainment industry. This sentence is like a bomb dropping. Xie exclaimed, that thank you. At that time, he also told Yu Yao that Xie Yu would never have anything to do with their Xie family. Because the Xie family prohibits direct members of the family from entering the entertainment industry. It's him. The middle-aged man nodded and said, I didn't expect that Xie Yangkai was not very good, but he raised his son well. The Xie family is in decline, but Xie Yu has already rushed to the international stage with hundreds of millions of fans, which makes many people feel unhappy. Especially the lady and a few others. In their eyes, Xie Yangkai is the least threatening one. It's easier in the entertainment industry, Mrs. Xie said coldly. If you can't find Xie Yangkai, you can find her son. You can handle this matter. The middle-aged man understood. Mom, I understand. In the entertainment industry, what is the best way to kill people? It's public opinion. Even if Xie Yu is a top-notch person, he can't stand up to the overwhelming public opinion. The Xie family is currently in a crisis, but he is at ease. Not a white-eyed wolf. What is it? Good morning. I'm in Xi'an, my dears. Watching your guesses makes me feel that the epidemic has been 23,333 all over the country this year. Anyway, Xi'an basically has a wave every month. 12 volumes of military books, each with his name. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 704. Moreover, what dissatisfied Madame Xie most was that Xie Yu and Si fucking knew each other and had certain connections, but they did not lend a helping hand when the Xie family was in distress. Otherwise, the Xie family would not be in a dilemma and struggle. No matter what, Xie Yu had to be forced back to Xie's house. Mom, he doesn't have an agent or a team, so his reaction is definitely not as fast as other stars. The middle-aged man smiled. It will definitely let the public opinion ferment for a while. Mrs. Xie nodded. Well, you understand, you are responsible. Dongzhou, in the hotel. Sang Yanking knocked on the door and cleared his throat. Ching ching, you're on the hot search again, but it doesn't matter, you have also attracted a group of fans who learn martial arts. Si fucking. After a few seconds, she slowly said, this can also be fanned. Sang Yanking patted her on the shoulder. You see that you have made achievements in so many fields, and you must have fans in all fields. What's strange? Maybe one day you will find out that both the T-18 and the Zero Intelligence Bureau have your fans. Si fucking was silent. Thanks, she is. Okay, I won't bother you anymore, Sang Yanking said. Anyway, your cameo appearance will end tomorrow, take a good rest, and prepare for Director Chin's big summer treasure after the year. She backed out and closed the door kindly. Sci-fi was still thinking. Someone hugged her behind her, and a cold voice fell in her ear, "What's hot?" Sci-fi silently put the video of her hammering the wall in front of Yu Zion. She also specifically emphasized, "I'm actually very mild." After Yu Zion watched the process from the girl's punch to the wall cracking, she smiled faintly, "Well, it's very gentle." Sci-fi looked at him blankly, "You must be mocking me." How could it be? His voice was accustomed to listening lightly, but at the moment he added a bit of a soft smile, "I just think that you are very gentle to me, I am very happy." Sci-fi stopped the enemy's increasingly violent behavior and warned, "Forbid you to attack me again." Yu Zion just smiled and touched her head. Why did she suddenly lose her temper? Why did she provoke you? He knows that she attaches great importance to fans, and will always be restrained under the live broadcast of variety shows. This is the first time that Sci-fi has directly attacked other stars in public. Sci-fi held his chin, "Because I heard her scolding my idol, her fist became hard and she couldn't hold back." Idol? Yu Zion was stunned for a moment, and quickly responded, "Yin Huang." "Yes," Sci-fi said lightly, "in my opinion, he is not a dead person. Every plant and tree in this great Xia was who has traces of him. She also granted his wish after his death. Let him drift with the wind and see the future prosperity of the summer." Yu Zion's eyes were deep. After a long while, he sighed lightly, "There's no need to be too angry, fame and fortune are all dust, and no one will be liked by everyone. There have never been many people who scold him. He doesn't care." Ninth brother, you are really not a qualified fan. Sci-fi looked at her, "How can you not be angry when you hear idols being scolded?" Yu Zion supported her head and smiled deeper, "Oh." Sci-fi touched his chin, "According to Fan Quin's words, I should be Emperor Yin's poisonous only." Yu Zion's expression froze, and she couldn't help laughing, "Do way. But don't be angry, I only have your boyfriend." She raised her hand, touched his head, and added cheerfully, "You are unique in my heart." The girl's fox eyes were misty, like the stars in the sky. Every time he is looked at like this by her, he always forgets the two things of restraint and endurance. How could she be angry when she pinched him so accurately? "Not angry," he said. "Real." Yet he lowered his head and looked at some unsightly comments, "Let Feng San clean this up later." Sci-fi felt the gradually decreasing air pressure on his body, "Wow, you still said you're not angry, don't lie to me." He raised his eyes and asked her with a lazy smile, "How can any fans not be angry when they hear idols being scolded?" Sci-fi paused and whispered, "I'm also very happy." She rubbed his face, "I'll go into the game cabin and sleep for a while." After she decided to stay in Dongzhou, Yu Zion brought her game cabin too. Since the death of Emperor Yin, she has avoided the game intentionally or unintentionally. Even if you log in, you will not go to the Great Xia dynasty again, but will go to the Ghost Valley to play chess with the Lord of the Ghost Valley. Moiwan is also completely open to her. There are many ores in Moiwan and rich resources. But the Ji family was at stake, and she had to go to the Great Xia dynasty to find Ji Chunyuan. Maybe a solution can be found. Pay attention to rest. Yu Zion stuffed her with a piece of candy, "I'm still when I'm tired." Sci-fi was startled. Familiar words seemed to be from yesterday. "When you are tired, look for my sister. My sister is here, don't be afraid." She rubbed her eyes darkening. He was keenly aware of the change in her expression, and asked in a low voice, "I think of my sister again." Sci-fi hummed softly, "It's all right, I'm used to it. Fortunately, I have you." But she must avenge Ye Wanlin and Lu Qingning's revenge. Even if Eternal is just a virtual holographic game. The next day, in the morning. Xiaoyu rushed back, and Sci-fucking left him the job of taking care of Xiaobai. This is the director's room. Director, producer Lu, it's not good. The new media staff ran over and panicked. Mr. Xie is on the hot search. Teacher Xie, the director stood up. What's going on? The staff handed the tablet over. The above is a joint press release issued by several marketing accounts. Shocking. Xie Dingliu is actually the young master of the Xie family. After he became Dingliu, he made money in the entertainment industry and didn't go home, and his own grandfather's life was dying without paying attention. It was posted 10 minutes ago and has over 10,000 comments. What, my brother Xie is really a wealthy young master? Xiaoyu's steady rise in the entertainment industry must have been without the help of the Xie family, otherwise he would have been hidden long ago with his face. Isn't this a white-eyed wolf? Brother Xie only relies on his ability and teacher Si, what does it have to do with the Xie family? Does it really matter if you can still be suppressed during the youth draft? There was a quarrel underneath. The director frowned when he saw it. I'll go ask. He got up and hurried to find Xiaoyu. Under the umbrella, the young man leaned on the deck chair. A lazy, sloppy body. A pair of fox eyes raised from time to time is indeed the object that many young girls like. But there are indeed many people who say that he is the male version of Si fucking. And because the two have known each other very early, and their relationship has remained very good for 2 years, they will be affectionately referred to as sisters and brothers of wealthy families by fans. The director slammed his head and murmured in his heart. He must have done too much as a director, and his brain supplementation ability is too strong, so he must change it. Mr. Xie, the director asked cautiously, have you seen what happened online? What happened to the Xie family? Xiaoyu opened his eyes and looked lazy. No, what's the matter? The director briefly recounted, Mr. Xie, the program team will definitely match you. Xiaoyu has not spoken yet. Xiaobai is very angry. It snorted, Yu, they are so shameless, obviously they have not even raised Aunt Xie, why are they so embarrassed to mention you? The sound was abrupt, and Xiaoyu didn't even have time to stop it. The director was startled and jumped up in shock. Mr. Xie, did you hear anything? No. Xiaoyu covered Xiaobai's mouth without changing his face. Director, you may not have woken up. The director was at a loss. Really? He recently saw that Ji Xingzi performed a lot of onmyoji, and he began to believe it. He thought he had hit a ghost. Still a woman? Yes, Director Xiaoyu said, go and rest, don't worry, I can handle this myself. The director touched his head and left. Xiaobai felt guilty. I'm sorry. Don't say I'm sorry, Xiaoyu shrugged, it wasn't me who scared me anyway, and you're holding grievances for me. The director had just walked a few steps when another staff member ran over, looking anxious. Director, the Xie family came over directly. Xiaoyu narrowed his eyes, I'll go out. Xiaobai followed behind. The people who came were middle-aged people and several other juniors of the Xie family. After seeing Xiaoyu, the middle-aged man went straight to the point, I'm Xiaruto, you should call me uncle according to your seniority. Now the Xie family needs you very much, so don't shoot the variety show and go back with us. No. Xiaoyu kicked the bottle under his feet, his lips twitched, who made you think that I am your Xie family? This sentence changed the expressions of several Xie family members. Xiaruto suddenly raised his head and looked at him in astonishment, what do you mean? Today's second watch is very early. Wow. Xiaoxiang has finally opened the double monthly pass, and the babies are giving Ching Ching a wave. Q reading and starting point and red sleeves will be doubled at the end of this month, everyone can vote now. Entering the final stage, so this month's monthly pass is really very important for Ching Ching, I hope everyone can support Ching Ching. You just cast monthly votes, I will update with more code words. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 705. If it's not Xie's family, which family is it from? Zeratu only felt funny. Xiaobai covered his mouth with his little paws in time to prevent it from being regarded as a female ghost again. So it stared at these Xie family members with very ferocious eyes. It bared its teeth very deliberately, trying to make its small body look fierce. Xiaobai felt a little depressed. Xiaoyu caught a glimpse of its expression and raised his eyebrows. He thought casually that a certain pixie might not know that its appearance would only make it more adorable, making people want to ravage it. Xiaoyu, don't say these things. There is no doubt that you are Xie Yangkai's son. Come back with me now to see your grandpa and uncle. Xiaoyu said, I haven't cheated, you can get out. He picked up Xiaobai and patiently combed its fine fur with his slender fingers. Xiaobai yawned comfortably. It is sleepy and wants to sleep. Get lost, the director felt confident. Our program is approved by Daxia TV. If it is delayed because of you, you can't make up for it. You guys. Zeratu's face turned blue with anger, but there was nothing he could do. He gritted his teeth and had no choice but to leave with a few others. Indoor. Xiaoyu called Sang Yanking unhurriedly, Sister Sang, I'm on the hot search. Sang Yanking said, I saw it, and I immediately evacuated it for you. It just so happens that the entertainment company I am familiar with also has big materials, and your point is nothing. Xiaoyu's mouth was very sweet, thank you, Sister Sang. Sang Yanking acted very quickly. When the director searched again, all the negative news about Xiaoyu on Weibo had been cleared. The director asked strangely, isn't Sister Sang Mr. C's manager? Xiaoyu said lazily, Teacher Si lent it to me. Director. Okay. As expected, they are siblings from a wealthy family. After Xiaoyu's news suddenly disappeared, it was replaced by another explosive entertainment industry secret. What is the reason why the nation's first love and someone got into a fight in front of the set? Below is a video of Bi Yongzi and Zhang Qiang fighting. Use your nails to pinch and pull your hair with your hands. Their clothes were disheveled and their hair fell all over the floor. Is this the end of the year when the paparazzi start rushing for results? Why don't you Yongzi have the nerve to call you the nation's first love? Look at how you look like these 4 words. Bi Yongzi's character has collapsed to the point of collapse. Fans, please stop washing it. Hey, isn't Zhang Qiang always licking farewell Yongzi? Why did the fight suddenly start? It must be related to interests, I understand. The video has been refined and there is still sound at the end. Netizens could clearly hear Zhang Qiang grabbing Bi Yongzi's hair and yelling, shameless, you are not Mr. Yu's girlfriend at all, and you crawled into bed, you are disgusting. There are subtitles next to it. According to reliable speculation, the Mr. Yu mentioned by Zhang Qiang is Mr. Yu Zion. We will continue to follow up and report in the future, so stay tuned. Damn, what a shocking thing. Is Bi Yongzi so brave? Cow wow cow wow. Hey, isn't it good to rely on strength? If you have to take the wrong path, you deserve to be in trouble. In just 1 hour, Bi Yongzi lost 300,000 followers. Most fans fell in love with her because of her youth and sweetness. If something like this happened, it was too late to run away. As for Zhang Qiang, there is no discussion at all. She didn't have much of a presence in the entertainment industry, and her number of Weibo fans only just exceeded 10 million, with most of them being zombie fans. The manager pointed at her nose and scolded, I'm asking you to rub Si fucking's heat, black and red is no problem, I'm not asking you to rub yourself to death directly. Zhang Qiang's face turned red and she opened her mouth, I was deceived by Bi Yongzi. She originally thought that by building a good relationship with Bi Yongzi, she would be able to squeeze into the upper class sooner or later. Who knew that Bi Yongzi was just a fake and shoddy product? Stop making excuses and get out, the agent waved his hand impatiently, the company will not pay the liquidated damages for you. Zhang Qiang left with a pale face, all thoughts were drowned by regret. Feng Sangxiang and Yu Xian reported all the public opinion trends on the internet. Zhang Qiang and Bi Yongzi's companies have terminated their contracts, and the company has also come forward to apologize to you, brother Zhu Feng San said. Then the super chat between you and Miss Si has gained a lot of fans. Yu Xian nodded slightly and said calmly, in the future, we will deal with this matter as soon as possible, and don't let you girls see it. Yes, Feng San responded. Yu Xian was closing her eyes to rest when she received a call from Huo Yangxing. I've always been curious about one thing. Huo Yangxing still couldn't hold it back and asked him humbly, how on earth did you get Miss Si into your hands? It stands to reason that except for her face blindness, Yu is not as difficult to get along with as Miss Si. Yu Xian said concisely, it depends on your face. Huo Yangxing. He couldn't help but cursed in his heart. Didn't this completely block his path? Xu Kimi couldn't remember his face at all, no matter what method he used. Huo Yangxing had no choice but to give up discussing this issue with Yu Xian and started surfing the internet to find ways to help him. He typed in the search box. Q. How to make your girlfriend feel sorry for you. Answer. Turn into a big dog that got wet in the rain. Huo Yangxing. He began to ponder the plausibility of this approach. If you add 8-pack ABS, can the success rate be even higher? Just do this when you do the task later. The other side. A group of people from the Xia family are still in the hotel. A lady looks sad. Second brother, if Xia Yu doesn't go back with us, Xia Yangkai will definitely not show up. What will happen to your elder brother's illness? Xia Zhaizhang, the boss of Xia Yangkai's generation, suffered from acute renal failure. The hospital has no kidney source and needs to match kidneys. Although donating a kidney will not lead to death, the body will be worn down, so the rest of the Xia family is naturally unwilling. So they quickly thought of Xia Yangkai. They have no feelings for Xia Yangkai and will not feel guilty about it. But now they all know where Xia Yangkai has gone, and they can't find him. Fortunately, Xia Yu is a public figure, so at least they won't wander around like a headless fly. But Xia Wei didn't even look at them and actually refused to go back with them. If you don't do anything, we'll tie up Xia Yu before we start talking. Xiaruto's eyes showed a sinister look. He is Xia Yangkai's only son. I don't believe she won't come by then. The eldest lady hesitated for a moment. Isn't this not good? He is a public figure and has many fans. That's just a star. Xiaruto waved his hand. I also checked his schedule on the internet. The variety show will end tomorrow, so let the professional bodyguards at home take care of it. With Xia Yu in hand, I am not afraid that Xia Yangkai will not show up. At noon the next day, the program officially ended, and Xia Yu was also preparing to pack up his things and go to Free Continent to prepare for the Eternal Academy's monthly exam at the end of the year. After returning Xiaobai to Sci-fi, he hung his backpack on one shoulder and walked slowly outside. After walking for a while, his steps paused. But he quickly returned to normal and continued to walk slowly forward. There was no one around. 5 bodyguards in black appeared at this time and blocked Xia Yu's way. Xia Yu raised his eyes and glanced. Who are you? Master Xia Yu, I'm sorry. The leading bodyguard in black stepped forward. Don't worry, we won't hurt you. The Xia family just wants to find Xia Yangkai, so you'd better come with us. Oh, Xia Yu's expression was still casual. What are you doing with my mother? This is not something you need to know. The bodyguard in black waved his hand and his voice became colder. It will do you no good to know. Tisk. Xia Yu looked at his hands. It's true that he hasn't moved his hands in a long time. If he doesn't play with them, his hands will indeed grow. The bodyguard in black saw his actions and was a little funny for a moment. Master Xia Yu, you don't still want to fight with us, do you? However, just when Xia Yu rolled up her sleeves and was about to step forward, A hand pressed her shoulder. Xiaoyu paused. Someone slowly walked out from behind him. The cold breath rose to the sky. You want to find me so much, why don't you just look for me? Xia Yankai smiled coldly. If I don't want to show up, you can even remove this kid's arms and legs, and I don't care. Xiaoyu raised his hand helplessly. Mom, actually I really believe that I am not your biological child. Xia Yankai sneered. Look at your face, how did you say such a thing? Xiaoyu took out the mirror and looked at his face. Well, Mom, you are so beautiful. Xia Yankai was forced to laugh at him. You brat, stop imitating your father's glib tongue. The expressions of the bodyguards in black all changed. They didn't discover at all how Xia Yankai appeared or when he arrived. Real silence. How can this be? As senior bodyguards who often escort Mr. Xia and Xia Zhai's hang in and out of the border, their perceptions are far superior to those of ordinary bodyguards. How come you didn't even hear Xia Yankai's footsteps? Seeing that his plan to stand up failed again, Xiaoyu put his hands back into his pockets with some regret. He turned around and looked at the 5 bodyguards in black. Oh, does the Spirit Alliance know? Forget it, this name is very historical, I'll change it, Xiaoyu said unhurriedly. The Supernatural Management Bureau should know about it, right? The bodyguard in black is not an ordinary person, and of course he knows that the supernatural administration is real. All supernatural events in the Daxia Empire are under the control of the Supernatural Management Bureau. Anyone who can hang out in the Supernatural Bureau will be beaten to the ground even if he becomes the world boxing champion. Xiaoyu spoke in a gentle tone. My mother is the next director, so you are in trouble. The 3rd update is coming. I have no other ability, I can only rely on more updates to attract votes OVO. If you have monthly votes, please vote for Ching Ching. Xiao and Xiang finally passed 4,000 votes. Let's continue to add more when they reach 5,000. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 706. After saying this, Xiaoyu took a step back. His retreat completely exposed Xia Yankai to the bodyguards in black. Xia Yankai slapped him on the head. I forgot that the ability of the evolutionary cannot be used by ordinary people? Are you making your mother violate the rules I set? Xiaoyu was polite. I didn't forget, but you. It is no exaggeration to say that even a little finger is more than enough to deal with these bodyguards. He couldn't stand up anyway, so he could only verbally frighten these ignorant people. It's just rhetoric. The head of the bodyguard in black calmed down and sneered. The director of the Supernatural Administration has to be an A-level evolutionary, are you? Xia family does not have an evolutionary up and down, can a high-level evolutionary suddenly appear? If Xia Yankai is really an evolutionary person, why would the Xia family think of taking her kidney before it's too late? Unless. For a split second, the bodyguard in black seemed to think of something. He raised his head suddenly, his expression horrified. You. Yes, very smart. Xia Yankai clapped his hands. It's a pity there is no reward. SHH. Crack. In less than 3 seconds, all 4 bodyguards in black were knocked down. The only one who was still standing was pinched by Xia Yankai's throat. With his feet off the ground, the air became thinner, and it was difficult to breathe. The old lady didn't look for you, but you still found the old lady. Xia Yankai's eyes were cold, and he sneered again. Who gave you the courage? The bodyguard in black couldn't say a word, his brain had completely turned into a mess. Evolver. Xia Yankai is an evolutionary. Mom, be gentle. Xiaoyu shouted, you said to be gentle. Bang. Xia Yankai flipped his wrist and smashed the black-clothed bodyguard directly to the ground. With a click, the ground cracked. The bodyguard in black shivered a few times, spitting blood continuously. Seeing this scene, Xiaoyu suddenly remembered the video that went viral on Weibo in the past 2 days. Si fucking smashed the wall with a punch. He fell silent. It's really the same thing. Where are the Xia family who came here? Xia Yankai still stepped on the ribs of the bodyguard in black. I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2. At the Dongzhou Hotel, the black-clothed bodyguard screamed, "Master, we are just hired by others, we didn't want to target you, please forgive us." Where can ordinary people have the ability to compete with the evolutionary? At this time, the bodyguard in black yelled at Xiaruto more than once. Xia Yankai is an evolutionary, but he still asks them to tie Xiaoyu, doesn't this let them die? Don't dress up for the old lady here. When you guys were discussing how to break this kid's arm, the old lady could hear it clearly. Xia Yankai said lightly, "My son, he messed with me, I can teach him to scold him." "You guys, you can't even touch his hair." Xiaoyu frowned. His mother came long ago, followed these people all the way, and ended up watching the fun? Xia Yankai's feet exerted force. Puff. The bodyguard in black spit out a mouthful of blood and passed out completely. Xia Yankai took a slow breath, turned his head, and looked bad. "What are you doing?" Xiaoyu took the phone, Mr. C's phone. "Oh," Xia Yankai changed his face in a second and said with a smile, "Give it to me." "Xiaoyu." He handed it over and made a please gesture. Si fucking's voice came from the microphone, "And Xia, do you need help?" "No need." Xia Yankai waved his hand, "It's just a Xia family, give them courage." Not to mention the Xia family, even if several big families are connected, they can only lie down in front of the supernatural administration. It is no longer a level of power. "Ching ching, Au and I have been bothering you for a while," Xia Yankai whispered, "thank you very much, without you, I don't even know what to do." "It should be Si fucking said, and Xia can call me if you need help, or call Brother Ju, I'm always here." "No problem." Xia Yankai was very happy, "You are busy with your work, and I will go to relax my muscles and bones." After the call ended, Si fucking lay back in the game cabin. After opening his eyes, it was Dongzhou 1500 years ago. She failed to meet Ji Chunyuan a few days ago. But not discouraged, standing here early this morning. The doorman of the Ji family also knew her and tried to persuade her to leave many times, but to no avail. Time passed by minute. "You're here again, go back." Finally, a wistful voice sounded faintly, "It's useless, the established facts cannot be changed. My aim is to go with the flow, it is natural, and there is nothing I can do about it." But Si fucking didn't leave. She smiled, "The 4 words that the person is sure to conquer the sky are also what you said." Another long silence. The door opened, and the immortal old man came out. He has a childlike appearance, and his spirit is vigorous. "The first thing I saw when I saw her was, you're not from here, are you?" Si fucking's expression froze slightly. Even though she had guessed that Ji Chunyuan saw her identity, she was still shocked when she heard him say it himself. But the game system didn't stop her from talking to Ji Chunyuan. Si fucking could also guess that this was because Ji Chunyuan was able to see the future, and it made no difference whether he stopped it or not. "This body was already exhausted 10 years ago, but I actually felt a huge amount of luck in you." Ji Chunyuan smiled, "From the first time I saw you, I knew you were not people here." Si fucking was silent and did not speak. Ji Chunyuan looked at her and pondered for a moment. "Let me see, now you are from the year 2027 of the Chinese calendar, right? Even the year is precisely stated. It is worthy of being the strongest onmyoji in the present and future generations, and it is already terrifying. I don't want you to affect your majesty." Ji Chunyuan sighed softly, "so I never told him about it. He was very happy when he left, thank you very much." Si fucking's voice was hoarse, "He can actually live a long time. For a person like Emperor Yin, Ji Chunyuan could not see through his life. That is his majesty's choice, and I don't have much time left. Ji Chunyuan turned his head and looked at the surging Dongling Sea. 100,000 troops will appear here at the hour after January. They are not simple enemy troops. They have gathered the yin and yang energy of the Gate of the Dead under the Dongling Sea. I have to shoot. Sci-fi's expression froze again. Ji Chunyuan saw his death. If you really want to change something, then learn something from me first. Tonight is suitable for stargazing, and you will come to me at night. Sci-fi finally said, I can't learn it. Can't you learn? Ji Chunyuan was extremely surprised. This is the most basic and simple thing. Sci-fi. She knows. But Yuan Mingqi also taught her for a while, but she couldn't grasp it. She deeply suspected that she was unsuitable to be an onmyoji, and once closed herself to a corner. Why are all her onmyo skills offensive? Her methods are obviously gentle, and the word violence is completely irrelevant. Ji Chunyuan suddenly burst out laughing. You are such an interesting person, I will teach you anyway, you are ready to prepare. Saying that, he waved his sleeve lightly. Sci felt as if there was an invisible force pushing her. When her vision became clear again, she had already returned to the login space. Sci-fi's expression changed. Ji Chunyuan is more powerful than she imagined, and can actually affect the game system of Eternal. She pushed open the door of the game cabin and went to Ji Xingzi to ask for some treasures to supplement the power of yin, yang, and 5 elements. Ji Xingzi wondered why she suddenly wanted these things. Sci sighed, no way, I was mocked by your ancestors. Ji Xingzi. Is his big brother finally crazy? This time, in the hotel. Xiaruto kept looking at his watch and looked impatient. Why haven't you come back? It's been 4 hours. Ritu, don't worry, Xiaoyu is a public figure after all, so it will definitely take more time and effort. The eldest lady comforted, as long as the final result is good, then. Before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted by a loud noise. Boom. The door of the presidential suite was kicked open directly, alarming everyone in the room. Xia Yangkai held several bodyguards in black in one hand and threw them on the ground one by one. Like stacked arhats, very neat. Apparently it's getting to the point where it's easy enough. Xia Yangkai raised his foot and kicked directly on the chest of Xiaruto, who was extremely shocked, and smiled coldly. It's true that the old lady is dead. Since she wants to die so much, she will live up to the expectations of these people by not fulfilling it. Not much to say, ask for a monthly ticket. There are still dozens of votes to break 5,000. 1 vote for you, 1 vote for me, plus more coming soon. I will vote more and more everyone, okay. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 707. There was dead silence in the room. Zeratul was stunned and did not react for a moment. These bodyguards are tall and tall, with a height of over 1.9 meters. The Xie family encountered a terrorist attack outside the 5 states of Daxia, and the bodyguards protected Mr. Xie and left safely. Therefore, Xiaruto felt relieved and sent them to catch Xiaoyu. Why are these bodyguards now in Xia Yangkai's hands, just like a few shrimps? Zeratul was so shocked that his face turned pale, let alone the others. Ah, the eldest lady couldn't help but screamed. Shut up. What's your name? Xia Yangkai glanced at her and said in a cold tone, I can't wake up your husband no matter how much you scream. The eldest lady covered her mouth, tears streaming down her face, and she did not dare to utter a single sound. She was not surprised. If she screamed again, Xia Yangkai would have her head ripped open. The eldest lady married into the Xie family when she was 20 years old. At that time Xia Yangkai was only 10 years old. In her impression, Xia Yangkai was at best a cold, unlucky, and rude child. Why did Xia Yangkai become like this after not seeing him for so many years? Why are you crying? Xia Yangkai looked at the eldest lady with a fierce look. Why, if you cry, someone will donate a kidney to your husband. The eldest lady was shocked. How do you know? They did not release the fact that Xia Zhaizhang was short of kidneys. The media only knew that Xia Zhaizhang was seriously ill and was in the intensive care unit. If Xia Zhaizhang's lack of kidneys is leaked, there is no guarantee that someone with evil intentions will take advantage of this moment to do something. Not to mention that Xia Yangkai had been away from the Xia family for so many years without even a single news channel. Be honest, Xia Yangkai did not answer the question. With a cold face, "Don't worry, I will go see the old immortal, just to see how he died." She had no feelings for Mr. Xia in the first place. After knowing that the blood on her body was the Huo family's blood, she gave up all her last thoughts about the Xia family. Why would she save a stranger who treated her so badly? What is morality? As long as she has no morals, no one can kidnap her. Come here, Xia Yangkai clapped his hands. These people want to illegally obtain organs. I have detained them and investigated all their transactions over the years. Those with gray income will be sent directly to the Thousand Army Alliance. Immediately, personnel from the Supernatural Administration came in. Yes, Chief. Until Xia Yangkai left, Xiaruto's brain was still buzzing. What is the title of Chief? Why is Xia Yangkai still related to Qin Junmen? The sound of communication came from above his head. These people are the chairman's family. It doesn't look like it. Is your news out of date? Your Majesty just went to Free Continent to meet your true relatives. Does the Xia family deserve it? Tisk, this Xia family is really looking for death. The leader didn't take them seriously for a moment, and they even sent themselves to the door. It seems that they have never experienced a severe beating from the leader. They really deserve it? Free Continent. Zeratul raised his head tremblingly and finally saw the logo on the clothes of the person in front of him. There is a big word spirit and a crossbow symbol. One of the four major alliances, the Spirit Alliance, the Supernatural Management Bureau. The strength in his body seemed to be drained out in an instant, and Zeratul collapsed on the ground, his face pale. He had no time to think about how Xia Yangkai became the leader of the Spiritual Alliance and how he got involved with Free Continent. There were only two words left in his mind. It's over. Here, Xia Yu went to Ji's house to say goodbye to Si fucking. Si fucking held his chin, failed to stand up again. Xia Yu shrugged, I can't help it. My mother and teacher Si are both too strong. It's also good for him to be a pretty boy. Xiaobai blinked his big purple gem-like eyes and stood up proudly. Yu, when I fully recover, I will be very strong. Xia Yu lowered his eyes and looked at it, with a lazy smile on his lips. Why is he so strong? Oh, yes, Si fucking took a bite of the apple. Don't look at it. It's a little bigger now. When it returns to normal size, it will be an A-level evolver in one bite. Xia Yu. Juju, you're talking nonsense. Xiaobai waved his fluffy paw angrily. Evolved people are very hard to eat. I know, Si fucking raised his eyebrows lazily. Didn't I praise you for your awesomeness? Humph. Xiaobai crossed his arms and turned his head away. You are slandering my image. What image does a pixie have? Si fucking picked it up and threw it into the gold doghouse. Hurry up and eat your gold bricks. Xiaobai wanted to retort with tears in his eyes. But he couldn't resist the temptation of gold and immediately started eating gold bricks. Xia Yu rubbed its head. Be good, I'm leaving. Xiaobai left a paw free and waved goodbye to him. Si fucking touched his chin, thoughtfully. Hello? Well, Grandma, I'm going back to Free Continent right now. Xia Yu answered the phone as he walked out. Something happened here with my mother. It's the Xia family. Grandma, you don't need to worry. My mother has already taken people to the Xia family's base camp. Okay, I will prepare for the monthly exam, don't worry. At this moment, Free Continent, the Huo family. After ending the call with Xia Yu, MRS Huo's chest heaved with anger. This Xia family is simply bullying others. The Xia family has always favored sons over daughters. Xia Yangkaiu had an older brother and a younger brother. She had no sense of presence in the Xia family. Mr. Xia and MRS Xia didn't care about her. After she completely stopped returning to the Xia family after she turned 16, they ignored her as if they no longer had this daughter. Madame Huo wished she could destroy the Xia family. But Xia Yangkaiu said there was no need to argue with the Xia family, so she followed Xia Yangkaiu's wishes and just pretended that the Xia family had full power and did not exist. After all, even the smallest family in Free Continent can easily kill the Xia family, let alone the Huo family, one of the 4 major families. But the Xia family went too far and even wanted Xia Yangkaiu's kidney. MRS Huo couldn't bear it anymore. She is not some kind old lady. When she was killing everyone in the Eternal Continent, Mr. Xia didn't know where to play with ants. Mom, don't be angry. Don't they want to match the kidney source? Huo Tianwen also heard it. He narrowed his eyes and sneered, then let them match it. MRS Huo pinched Huo Tianwen's ears and raised her voice, well, Huo Tianwen, are you jealous because your sister is beautiful and has such a big boy? You want to send her to death? Huo Tianwen. He said slowly, Mom, that's not what I meant. Then what do you mean? MRS Huo became even more angry. I tell you, if you dare to bully my daughter, I will chop you up myself. Huo Tianwen said again. He believe. MRS Huo is an S-class evolver and has been in charge of the Eternal College law enforcement team for many years. She can kill him easily. The Huo family's violent style was influenced by MRS Huo. Huo Tianwen pinched his eyebrows and said helplessly, Mom, I do want to bully your daughter, but it's just another daughter. MRS Huo was stunned for a moment, and then she suddenly reacted, you mean Shiyun? The human heart is made of flesh. The most difficult thing in the world to let go of is love. MRS Huo admitted that she did still have feelings for Huo Shiyun. She faced it directly and would not deny it. Mom, don't you think she is a good match for the Xia family? Huo Tianwen sneered softly, the Xia family has not been an evolver for generations, and my Huo family has also been an evolver for generations. No matter how low the bloodline is, at least it still has it. How could it be possible that it doesn't even have any evolutionary genes? MRS Huo's body was shaken, and she thought of a lot in an instant. You mean, but paternity tests have been done for decades, and there are no problems. So what, it won't affect anything if you give it a try. Huo Tianwen turned to the captain of the guard, time is enough, take Huo Shiyun out of the silent dark room. Send her to Daxia to match her kidney source with Xia Zhai's hang. He didn't believe that someone who sent Xia Yangkaiu to Xia's house would not do anything to the Huo's house. Do you want to watch the 3rd update? If you have any, vote for a monthly ticket so that I can see everyone's presence. A double monthly ticket is worth 2 votes. Even though it's stressful, I still need to update. Let's continue coding. Why hasn't the comment area been unblocked yet? I can't reply to comments T after having everything taken away. She returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 708. Hearing Huo Tianwen give such an order, MRS Huo hesitated for a moment, but finally did not stop it. Even those very low-level evolvers who have no evolver ability can detect at least one evolutionary gene. Huo Shiyun had none. Indeed, this is a question that puzzles her and the entire Free Continent. MRS Huo murmured, but if they match, it won't prove our guess. Although the best match is between immediate family members, rejection may also occur. And strangers can completely match each other. Huo Tianwen said, Mom, think about it carefully. If we can really match, where do so many coincidences come from in the world? Mrs. Huo's expression changed. It's not a coincidence if they collide together, Huo Tianwen said calmly. It happens that Yan Yan is your daughter, and Huo Shiyun's kidney source happens to match. Doesn't this prove anything? The paternity test may not be accurate. We need to try many aspects. Mrs. Huo nodded silently. Ever since she found Xia Yangkaiu, she had a secret expectation in her heart that Huo Shiyun was not from the Huo family. Numerous paternity tests failed her again and again. But there is a new problem. If Huo Shiyun is not from the Huo family, what about her other daughter? Or is it that one of them died in infancy, but the identities of Xia Yangkaiu and Huo Shiyun were changed? Mom, let's do it one by one. Huo Tianwen looked at the time and said, although Yan Yan said we don't need to worry about it, we can't watch her being bullied. You're right. Mrs. Huo came back to her senses and said in a cold voice, if they treat Yan Yan better, I will be very grateful to them. Let's leave now. On the other side, the Holy Light Judgment Office. Silent Black House Management Office. The management staff stood guard in front of a heavy and simple door with ancient and elegant patterns. And behind this door is the dark room of silence that frightens Free Continent. In fact, no one knows what it is like inside the dark room of silence. Because everyone encounters something different after entering through this door. It is a mental prison. After learning the origin of the chief guard, the management staff suddenly realized, you came at the right time. If it were any later, number 891,320 would be incapacitated. The number represents all the people who have entered the Black Room of Silence since the establishment of the Holy Light Judgment. Those who were not spiritual evolutionaries would be tortured if they entered the Silent Black Room, let alone Huo Shiyun. Huo Shiyun experienced several mental breakdowns and was on the verge of madness. She has no idea who she is or what she is doing here. No matter how much she cried or made trouble, no one would care about her. Just when Huo Shiyun couldn't bear it anymore, a voice finally sounded above her head. Number 891,320, your family is here to pick you up, please go out. Light powers in. By the time Huo Shiyun's vision returned to clarity, she had already left the dark room of silence. As soon as she came out, her legs weakened and she fell to the ground, still a little confused. Because she hadn't eaten for a long time, she retched and could only vomit acidic water. Huo Shiyun has a haggard face and sunken cheekbones, like a miserable female ghost. The management staff showed no mercy and talked to the head guard, it was like this when we first came out. The only ones who are not affected are the disciples at the top of the cloud. Mr. Yuan Mingqi came in for a week a while ago, and he was chatting and laughing with me when he went out. It's really scary. The Black Room of Silence can also detect strength. The head guard was surprised, can you still talk and laugh? Yes, the manager added, a few years ago, there was a disciple on the top of the clouds. I wasn't on duty at the time, and I don't know where he was ranked. In short, he was very powerful. I heard that a mercenary team was wiped out after we went out, and they were not affected at all. The captain of the guard couldn't help but take a breath, that's really terrifying. No wonder there are only 10 members in the Cloud Summit Master Sect, but they have still become the fourth force that is not weaker than the Holy Light Judgment Institute, the Intercontinental Research Institute and the Eternal Academy. The two talked for a while, and Huo Shiyun finally woke up. She cried and laughed, Mom, I really know I was wrong. I didn't mean it. Please forgive me, Mom. Another crazy one. The manager shook his head, brother, you'd better take him away as soon as possible. The head guard nodded, and he pulled Huo Shiyun, Miss Shiyun, it's time to go. Huo Shiyun was stunned. When she saw the face of the guard chief, she was suddenly overjoyed. Did Mom come to ask you to pick me up? Did Mom forgive me? It must be so. Otherwise, How could it be possible to release her from the dark room of silence in advance? The head guard just smiled and did not answer the question, but said, "Miss Shiyun, the old lady and the head of the family do need your help for something, please." Huo Shiyun couldn't hide the joy on her face, and she didn't see the pity in the guard captain's eyes towards her. The captain of the guard never explained a word. Huo Shiyun is the young lady of the Huo family, so she is favored by Mrs. Huo. If not, then death is imminent. The next day. Daxia Empire, the first hospital. Mr. Xie developed high blood pressure and hyperlipidemia after getting old, and he woke up quickly. Xie Zhaizhang is still in a coma. When Mr. Xie knew that Xie Yangkaiu and Xie Yu had not shown up yet, he threw a cup out. "Not coming," Mr. Xie said angrily, "if not, I will hold a press conference to condemn her behavior to the public." Xie Che was speechless. He couldn't help but wonder, could it be that he had really learned this trick after hanging out with Mr. Yu for a long time? "Aren't you afraid that it will backfire and end up like the Yu family?" Xie Che knew that he was just a playboy with no abilities. He had no intention or ability to care about such things, so he just listened silently. Mr. Xie coughed violently again. "Archie, go and hold a press conference. I must let others see your aunt's attitude." Just as Xie Che was about to refuse, the door to the ward was pushed open. A cold female voice sounded, "No need, I'm already here." Xie Che was startled and quickly lowered his head. "Auntie." Xie Yangkaiu did not look at him, but glanced at Mr. Xie. "You want me to donate a kidney to Xie Zhaizhang?" "Yes, since you are here on your own, it means that you are still a sensible person," Mr. Xie said with a majestic expression. "I don't need you to do anything. I just want a kidney from you. The Xie family will take care of you in the future." Between Xie Zhaizhang and Xie Yangkaiu, of course he chose Xie Zhaizhang. Xie Yangkaiu, a woman, married, and had children behind his back, and refused to return home for so many years, which was unfaithful and unfilial. What use can it be? As soon as Huo Tianwen and Mrs. Huo walked to the ward, they heard Mr. Xie's words. Huo Tianwen was instantly furious and wanted to kill someone. Mrs. Huo was very calm on the contrary. She said calmly, "Why are you so anxious? Yanyan won't let him get any advantage. I want to see what else this old thing can say." In the ward, Mr. Xie was still talking. "You also have a son, and one kidney is enough. But your eldest brother is the backbone of the Xie family. Without him, the Xie family will collapse." "Oh? That couldn't be better." Xie Yangkaiu clapped his hands. "I'm just waiting for two things. The Xie family will die with you. I don't know which one will come first." She likes to do things like adding insult to injury and making fun of others. Disobedient girl, Mr. Xie was furious. He pressed the bedside bell and was about to call someone. "Tell her nonsense and take out both of her kidneys." As soon as the words fell, there was a loud noise. Boom! The door was kicked open. Xie Che held his head and squatted down in time to avoid being hit by the falling door. "Amazing, really amazing." Mrs. Huo walked in with a cold face. "Just want a kidney? How shameless do you have to be to say such a thing, old man?" A sudden rush of cold air made Mr. Xie shiver. He couldn't tell for a moment whether it was due to the weather or whether it was emanating from the old lady. Mr. Xie frowned. "Who are you? Why do you have a hand in the affairs of my Xie family? An old woman still wants to meddle in her own business?" Xie Yangkaiu turned around, a little surprised. "Mom, brother, didn't I tell Au not to let you come? How troublesome it is for you to make this trip." "Of course I'm coming." Huo Tianwen snorted coldly. "If you don't come, these losers really think no one wants you." "Tianwen, did you see which hand he wanted to use to take out Yanyan's kidney just now?" Mrs. Huo just looked at Mr. Xie and said coldly, "Remove his arm. No one in this world is more violent than the Huo family." It's really a waste of my life to add more updates if you have monthly votes and Xiaoxiang votes, just vote for Ching Chingkuk. The points you sign in at Xiaoxiang can be exchanged for Xiaoxiang tickets. You can check it out. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 709. Hearing this, Huo Tianwen also looked at old Master Xia's hands very seriously. He shook his head and sighed regretfully, "Sorry, Mom, I didn't see clearly, I had to remove both of his arms." With that said, he did the same. He walked up unhurriedly and came to Mr. Xia's hospital bed. There were other Xia family members in the ward, but at this moment their bodies seemed to be frozen and unable to move. Xia Che, who was holding his head and squatting on the ground, also kept shaking. When the Yu family was there, the Xia family was really used to being arrogant. But they have never met such a wanton and rude person, and they even started directly here. Who is this old lady and this middle-aged man? What? The silence was interrupted by Father Xia's shrill screams. He only felt a sharp pain coming from his arm, and he didn't even have time to react. With 2 crisp clicks, Huo Tianwen removed his arm. After Huo Tianwen finished all this, he nodded with satisfaction. "It's quite symmetrical." Xia Yangkai's mouth twitched. Compared with Huo Tianwen, she suddenly felt that she was actually a gentle person. Father Xia's expression was nothing but panic. You. Huo Tianwen ignored him and called the accompanying guards. "How is that Xia Zhai's hang?" "I'm still hanging on the medicine," a guard said respectfully. "It is estimated that if there is no kidney source, he will surely die within a month. They haven't done removal surgery, they've been hanging on medicine, and they're waiting for Miss Yang Kaiu to donate a kidney to him," the guard said, and his voice became cold. "And the subordinates have inquired. They want to remove both of Miss Yang Kaiu's kidneys, and they just want her to extend Xia Zhang's life." Madame Huo was furious, and slammed her hand on the table. What a courage! No one Xia family dared to speak. Because they watched the very kind-looking old lady directly pat the table into powder. "Oh," after Huo Tianwen heard it, he said lightly, "Then pick it for him first, pick both of them. Anyway, it's death to the left and right, so it's less painful to die this way, don't you think?" The guard nodded in agreement. The head of the family is right, and the subordinates will do it now. Old Master Xia's eyes were splitting when he heard it, and he roared, "No! How dare you? How do you?" Snapped. A slap landed on his face. Huo Tianwen blew his palm. "Did I tell you to speak? Who the hell are you?" Mr. Xia's eyes were red. "Why do you care about my Xia family's family affairs? What's in it for you?" "Benefits," Huo Tianwen laughed coldly. "If you want my sister's kidneys, then you should pay for it by double. I really think my Huo family is easy to bully." "Yan, don't be afraid." Mrs. Huo pulled Xia Yangkaiu behind her. "Your elder brother will handle it." Xia Yangkaiu wanted to say that she was not afraid, and the Xia family couldn't do anything to her. But being so protected by Mrs. Huo, she felt a sour feeling in her heart. She has always regarded her as an orphan, and only established a family after meeting Yun Alliance Lord and Yun Fengzi. And now, she also has a mother and brother. Father Xia's lips trembled fiercely. Huo's family. Although the surname Huo is not common, it also exists in the Daxia Empire. But only the Huo family of Liberty Island is the real overlord. It's not that he didn't hear those guards call Huo Tianwen patriarch. But why did Xia Yangkaiu suddenly become the sister of the Huo family head? Mr. Xia couldn't believe it anyway. The veins on his neck jumped up, and he almost roared, "This is impossible." Xia Yangkaiu, a woman, the person he despised the most in his life, how could he have anything to do with the Huo family? The Xia family and the Yu family are on good terms, and they are also waiting for the Yu family to rush into the Liberty continent to be able to pull the Xia family. Unexpectedly, before this wish came true, the Yu family collapsed, and everything turned into a bubble. However, in a place he didn't know, Xia Yangqiu turned into a young lady of the Huo family. Father Xia's fingers were shaking. With the Huo families doting on Xia Yangqiu, he could totally guess one thing. If the Xia family raised Xia Yangqiu well, then when the Huo family came to the door, just a little bit of resources were exposed between the fingers, which would be enough for the Xia family to gain a firm foothold in Liberty Island. But the problem is he didn't do it at all. Now, not only is it impossible for the Xia family to enter Liberty Island, but instead they are facing a crazy blow from the Huo family. At this moment, Mr. Xia suddenly felt the feeling of Mr. Yu at that time. Is there anything more uncomfortable than giving up when you can have it? Old Master Xia felt as if a huge stone had been pressed against his heart, making him breathless. Huo Tianwen asked casually, "When will Huo Shiyun come over?" The guard said, "The plane is about to land, the owner of the family can rest assured." Huo Tianwen nodded. "By the way, don't put on such a dead face, I will still send you a person with matching kidneys." He smiled at old Master Xia again, "I'll be there in a while." On the other hand, Mrs. Xia still doesn't know what happened in the hospital. Because after Xiaorudo didn't come back for a long time, she couldn't wait any longer and went straight to Dongzhou with the people. The Historical Relics program group has not left yet. Although Sci-Fi's cameo appearance has ended, Ji Xingzi will come and go from time to time, and she will show her face when she has time. Looking at the number of viewers in the live broadcast room and the number of broadcasts of each episode, the director naturally laughed from ear to ear, and he forgot about Ji Xingzi's use of yin and yang to reshape his three views. "Director," the staff hurried in, looking a little flustered, "Xia family is here again." "Here again," the director frowned, go out and see who is so shameless." With a wave of his hand, he led the photographer out. Outside. "Let Xia Yu come out," Mrs. Xia said heavily, "I'm his grandmother, isn't he ashamed to let his grandmother's old arms and legs come over in person?" It was originally a break, and the live broadcast was closed. Now that it's turned on, the audience pours in, still a little confused. "Who is this? Why does this old lady look like a witch?" "Ah, I know. It's the old lady of the Xia family. Did she come to see Brother Xia?" The director said with a good temper, "I'm sorry, Teacher Xia has left and is not in the program group." "Do you think I would believe you?" Madame Xia pointed at the director's nose, "Everyone in the entertainment industry is lying, let Xia Yu come out. Don't force me to do it. Are you offending the Xia family?" The audience was stunned. "Is it so arrogant? Damn, I'm so angry that the Yu family is gone. What is your Xia family?" "Thank you." A voice sounded with laughter. Sci-Fi held the director's shoulders and walked out from behind him. "I don't know, when did the Xia family become so powerful?" Madame Xia's expression changed. "You are Sci-Fi, you." She doesn't pay attention to any entertainment news and doesn't know the relationship between Sci-Fi and Xia Yu, but she also knows that Sci-Fi is a person who is eagerly invited by major families in the world. Mrs. Xia hesitated for a moment, should she leave first? "When the time comes, pick one and come back when Sci-Fi is not around." Sci-Fi looked indifferent. "It seems that you don't know anything yet." Mrs. Xia couldn't bear the coercion emanating from the girl, so she lacked confidence. "What do you want to say? You're looking for Xia Yu just to force Aunt Xia to go back and donate a kidney to your eldest son?" Sci-Fu snorted. "Will your conscience be disturbed if you treat it so differently?" The audience in the live broadcast room was once again shocked, and the director almost dropped his chin. "Wow, the old lady retreats. Stay away from my brother Xia. Beat her up. Use your tilted 18 punches." Mrs. Xia frowned. "Are you kidding? How can she compare with her eldest brother? If her eldest brother can inherit the Xia family, what can she do? So, you don't need to worry so much, because Aunt Xia is not only not your daughter, but she has also found her real family. She is the young lady of the Huo family. Si fucking bent down slightly. It has nothing to do with your Xia family. It's a relationship. Are you happy? Madame Xia's pupils shrank. What Huo family? What are you talking about? Wait, which Huo family? Listening to Ching Ching said that the Huo family must be more powerful than the Xia family. Nayuniu, they want my mother-in-law's kidneys. The Xia family will die for me. Oh, I don't know. It's normal. People who have no experience are like this. Si fucking said again. Huo's family, one of the 4 major families in Liberty Island. Do you understand what I said? Everyone is so powerful. It is only a few dozen votes to 6,000, everyone is working hard to send them up. One person, one vote will be broken soon. Tenosinovitis committed, I take it easy. The update will definitely not fall, don't worry. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 710. After the words fell, there was dead silence around him. With a clang sound, the thermos cup in the director's hand hit his foot and rolled away. He had no idea. The photographer in charge of the live broadcast was also stunned, his hand holding the camera unsteady. But the audience, who could hear clearly, had no time to criticize him for being unprofessional, and the live broadcast room was completely silent. It wasn't until 2 seconds later that a huge exclamation mark floated over. Can you do some popular science? What is Free Continent? It sounds awesome. Others don't know. Those who play Oracle don't know that Mr. G is from Free Continent, right? I don't know for sure, but I heard that there is gold everywhere in Free Continent. So after Brother Xia recognizes his ancestor and returns to the clan, will he take me to pick up gold? Thank you for being awesome, that's it. However, Xia Yu's fans began to worry about whether Xia Yu would step out of the industry after being recognized by the Huo family. They thought about it and decided to go and share their experiences with the Musis. What nonsense are you talking about? Mrs. Xia laughed angrily. Is the Huo family a place worthy of that bitch? Si fucking, my Xia family's affairs have nothing to do with you, you'd better not interfere. Si fucking crossed his arms and said calmly, if you don't believe me, go back and have a look for yourself. By the way, I'll tell you another news. I'll be generous and won't charge you any money today. Mrs. Xia stared at her. Si fucking's voice was gentle. Several members of your Xia family were arrested by the Thousand Army Alliance for suspected grey transactions. Remember to check on them when you go back. Phytolaka. Shang Lu, who was enjoying his experience by posting about the selfish couple super chat, immediately jumped up and drove Mrs. Xia and the bodyguards she brought out of the set. Si fucking turned around and said, Director, I will lend you my bodyguard. If you need anything, just ask him. The director thanked him repeatedly. It's too troublesome for you, Mr. Si. Teacher Si. At this time, the producer called her, the person to pick you up is here. Si fucking waved to the camera. That's it for today. Goodbye everyone. King Bao, don't leave. A love rival must be a love rival, don't force me to find out who this love rival is. Damn it, the hatred for taking my wife is irreconcilable. Si fucking put on a mask, hat, and sunglasses and was fully armed. She got into the car as quickly as possible and muttered, I think next year's recruitment for 0 and T18 can all be based on my fans. Yu Zian took off the scarf for her with a slight smile. What should I say? Falling in love is the same as engaging in underground intelligence warfare. Si fucking held his chin. I remember back then, I didn't think so carefully when I fought with you Ling people. She suddenly seemed to remember something, her fox eyes brightened. Brother Ninth, The people at T18 headquarters told me that there is a big case coming up in the next few days, and I will find a way to pass it on to you so that you can be promoted. Yu Zion chuckled lightly and reached out to rub her head. Thank you for your kindness, girl. Of course, I won't be nice to you. I won't be nice to anyone as I fucking gestured to him. You must be promoted as soon as possible. Huo Yangxing heard that Ling's job selection was at the beginning of January, and she wanted to unseat Chief Ling, who was robbing her of her performance, and make him cry bitterly. It was decided happily. The first hospital. Under the escort of the chief of guard, Huo Shiyun arrived belatedly. Mom, brother, why are you coming to the hospital? Huo Shiyun was a little unhappy. Are there any diseases that we can't cure in Free Continent? And dash. She turned her head and saw Xia Yangkaiu. Her face suddenly dropped, and she didn't even want to maintain a smile. Xia Yangkaiu was obviously standing here just fine, and she was right. It was all done by Yu Shuming alone. Why should she suffer such a huge punishment? It's all Xia Yangkaiu's fault. Without Xia Yangkaiu, Mrs. Huo would only have her in her eyes. Huo Shiyun hated Xia Yangkaiu in her heart, but naturally she didn't show it on her face, and even said hello cordially. Brother, who is this old man? Huo Shiyun covered her mouth and nose and looked at Mr. Xia up and down in disgust. She said with a look of disdain, it smells really bad. Please tell me what's going on. I'm going to finish dinner with my mother later. Huo Shiyun, you don't really think that I asked people to take you out just to let you live a good life, right? Huo Tianwen said lightly. Someone, take her to have a kidney source matching, just see the results, the transplant will be fine, it's no longer necessary. Yes, head of the family. The guards held Huo Shiyun up again. Huo Shiyun's face instantly turned pale, and her voice trembled. Kidney source match. Why does she need to be matched for a kidney source? She doesn't know any of the Xia family at all. Mr. Xia also widened his eyes. You. Why did Mrs. Huo send her members of her direct family here? Is she crazy? Mom, Huo Shiyun finally realized that Huo Tianwen was not joking. She screamed, Mom, look what he is doing. Does he want me to die? I don't want to be matched for a kidney source, I don't want it. I want you to die. Are you dead? Huo Tianwen's face was cold. Your sister really almost died. Can you please secretly cheer her up? Without your consent, Yu Shuming would take action. Huo Shiyun's face turned even paler, and she subconsciously denied, I didn't. But in the face of the facts, all sophistry pales in comparison. She really wished that Xia Yangkaiu died. The more miserable the death, the better. It was best not to even have a good death for the body. So before Yu Shuming hired the god-killing mercenary group, she specifically told Yu Shuming that it would be best for the mercenaries to seize Xia Yangkaiu and then throw the body into the snow to feed the wild wolves. This way it will be clean. If Xia Yangkaiu dies, he will not come back to compete with her for Mrs. Huo's favor, nor will it affect her status. It won't kill you. It's just a match. At most it will only hurt when you draw blood, Huo Tianwen said lightly. You'd better hope that the result won't be what I thought. Mrs. Huo still couldn't bear it. Tianwen. Huo Tianwen waved his hand and asked the guards to leave Huo Shiyun behind. He showed no mercy as he asked the doctor gently, Hello doctor, how long will it take for the kidneys to be matched? Kidney matching takes a long time, about 4 or 5 days, the doctor said cautiously, because there are many tests, including blood type, tissue typing, cross-matching, etc. Huo Tianwen looked kindly, it's okay, it won't take more than a few days. We have time to wait. As he said that, his eyes fell on Mr. Xia. Anyway, people can still be matched after they die, right? Mr. Xia looked pale. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. He had just seen the Huo family's methods, which were completely beyond his knowledge. Mr. Xie fell on the bed with a dejected look on his face, his eyes empty. The doctor carefully withdrew and wiped his sweat secretly. After being in the hospital for a long time, he saw a lot of secrets about wealthy families, and as expected, each one was more earth-shattering than the last. I didn't expect that the Xie family would have such a bloody inside story. Huo Tianwen prepared all the materials and ordered them to be delivered, including Mr. Xie's hair and blood, etc. Let's do a paternity test first. The results will come out quickly, the doctor told his assistant. The assistant was confused, looking at what Mr. Huo means. Huo Shiyun is our Huo family. They must have done a paternity test long ago. It's just a way of doing it anyway. It won't affect anything if you do it again. I'll go prepare for other work first. The doctor left in a hurry. The assistant nodded and sent the DNA tissues of Mr. Xie and Huo Shiyun to the identification equipment. 3 hours later, the identification results came out. How's it going? The doctor came over. What's your expression? It's just a paternity test with the results already known. Does it feel like you've seen a ghost? The assistant pointed at the screen. Look. The doctor looked up and his eyes fell on the last line of identification conclusion. The identification conclusion. According to the appraisal center, Huo Shiyun is Xie Wenyi's biological daughter. The doctor's hand slammed down on the table for a moment. He knew that this matter was completely messed up. Apply the plaster and finish coating. This month's updates have made my mind a little tired. I really can't move much today. I'll take a rest and we'll see you tomorrow. It's the end of the month. Those who still have monthly votes vote for Kinkingba. They really need monthly votes. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 711. The paternity test is indeed not without mistakes, but it cannot be wrong to this point. Earlier, the doctor also looked at the paternity test of Huo Shiyun and Mrs. Huo. What's more, the medical methods of Liberty Continent are more developed than that of the Great Xia Empire. What is going on? The assistant stammered. Old teacher, shouldn't it be Mrs. Huo and Mr. Xie? It's so good for your brain, why don't you write novels? The doctor slapped him on the head. Isn't there another copy for Mrs. Xie? Open it up. Oh, the assistant clicked the next appraisal result in embarrassment. I was so frightened that I forgot. The doctor frowned and didn't speak, but pulled the file to the end. The appraisal conclusion. As identified by the appraisal center, Huo Shiyun is Chiao Kexiu's biological daughter. The assistant's eyes widened. 3 people were born together. No surprise, he got another slap on the head. The doctor exhaled slowly. Do it again. If the result is still the same, I will go to the Huo family. The assistant hurriedly took out the backup materials and started a new round of identification. At this moment, the internet has turned upside down. After the Xie family's scandal was exposed, it was boycotted by the whole network. It's so disgusting, no wonder it's close to the Yu family, not a family, and doesn't enter the house. There are several people in the Xie family who are photographed by Yuji to find Xie Yu, and they all came out of a nest. So disgusting. Boycott the Xie family, start with me. On the one hand, Xie Yu's fans are angrily attacking the Xie family, and on the other hand, they are asking the Musi for help on how to keep the idols from returning to inherit the family property. With them taking the risk of their idol's retirement from the circle, the Musi people are extremely happy. We will not have the trouble of dumping it back to inherit the family property, because she is poor. Yes, a female star just knows too many things, our troubles are completely different. Don't say it's so deadly before that. We didn't expect Brother Xie to be a super rich young master. Smile. The Musas were silent. They immediately ran to Swibo and asked her to prevent this possibility from happening. Otherwise, with Si's love of money, it is more likely than Xiaoyu to withdraw from the circle and inherit the family property. Sang Yanking conveyed the concerns of the Musi to Si fucking. No, Si fucking comforted her in turn. No matter what, I will never give up acting. Sang Yanking breathed a sigh of relief. The movie has already been sent to Glenn. You have to win next year's Glenn Award before you retire. She can prepare PR in advance again. She was alive, she was happy. First hospital. The atmosphere in the ward was tense. The other Xie family members who had nothing to do with this matter were sent away, and only Mr. Xie was still under the eyes of the Huo family members. He was watched in everything he did, and he had no right to freedom at all. In one night, Mr. Xie was almost desperate. He regretted more than once why he did not raise Xie Yangkai well. The more regretful, the more Xie's heart hurts like a knife. Until the rapid ringtone of the mobile phone broke the silence and kept ringing. But no one picked it up. It's so noisy, Xie Yangkai's eyes were full of anger. Can't you hear your phone ringing? Answer the phone. Mr. Xie didn't move. He looked at Xie Yangkai with a pale face, and found that his understanding of her over the years was completely wrong and one-sided. Xie Yangkai suddenly said, "Oh, I forgot that my hand was broken. It's fine, I'll pick it up for you." She pressed the answer button. As soon as the phone was connected, there was a shout from there. "Father!" Father Xie didn't want to respond. But when he touched Xie Yangkai's cold eyes, he cheered up. "What's the matter?" Xie's crying voice came over the phone. "Master, what's the matter? Why is Xie Yangkai the child of the Huo family? When I gave birth, didn't you wait outside all the time? What makes Xie unacceptable is not because Xie Yangkai is not the daughter of the Xie family. What she couldn't accept was that Xie Yangkai was the eldest miss of the Huo family. Why does Xie Yangkai have a higher status than her? Isn't this a special purpose to insert a knife into her heart?" Father Xie opened his mouth. Before he said anything, the phone had moved away from his ear. "Why do you cry? It's wasteful and noisy," Xie Yangkai said impatiently. "You can only cry. How am I like you? I don't have any self-knowledge." Madame Xie's crying stopped abruptly. "Not bad." Mrs. Huo also said coldly, "Even if Yan Yan was in your Xie family when he was a child, he still looks like my Huo family. Genes are a wonderful thing. Studies have shown that even if a mother and daughter are separated, when the daughter grows up, her behavior and personality will become more and more like her mother." Mrs. Xie said in a trembling voice, Who are you, and why are you next to my old man? What? You bully Yan Yan, and I, the mother, can't come. Mrs. Huo, Mrs. Xie, right? I have something to talk to you about." Bang. There was a loud noise over there. It was probably that Mrs. Xie was startled and smashed the phone out. Xie Yangkai sneered, "That's the guts." Mrs. Huo was also very angry. "I found out that she beat you and scolded you when you were young. Yan Yan, wait, Mom won't let her go so easily." "Mom, it's all over," Xie Yangkai said in a soft voice. "I'm very happy to have found you." Mrs. Huo stroked her head. Tuk 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 dash. The door was knocked at this moment. "Excuse me, the doctor held the results of 2 identification reports in his hand. "I found something and can't make a decision." Huo Tianwen turned his head. "Did something happen during the kidney source matching process?" "No," the doctor shook his head. He handed over the document and sighed. "Look, Mr. Huo." Huo Tianwen took the 2 paternity tests in surprise. The moment he saw the appraisal conclusion after opening it early, his expression changed instantly. Huo Tianwen's veins throbbed violently, obviously furious. "That's right, because we also know that the medical technology in Liberty Continent is more developed than our first hospital." The doctor pushed his glasses, "So we were wondering if there might be something wrong." Huo Tianwen fell silent. The paternity tests they have done in Liberty Island have not been 100 or 80 times. The result is the same every time. But why did you come to the opposite conclusion after leaving the Free State? But obviously, the conclusions of these two identification results are more plausible. Madame Huo took the identification result with one hand, her fingers trembling. Where's Huo Shiyun? Bring it here. Huo Tianwen immediately instructed the guards to bring Huo Shiyun, who had just completed kidney source matching, to the ward. The kidney source match did not affect her in any way, but it was humiliating to her. How could she have anything to do with a poor hillbilly like the Xie family? Will definitely not match. As soon as Huo Shiyun came in, Huo Tianwen left two paternity tests in front of her. Huo Shiyun was stunned. Huo Tianwen said lightly, "Congratulations, you finally found your biological parents, are you happy?" In Huo Shiyun's ears, these words were like a thunderclap. She opened the paternity test with trembling fingers, and screamed after reading, "This is impossible. How could she be the daughter of Mr. Xie and Mrs. Xie? These two old things are not worthy of her shoes." Huo Shiyun was completely panicked now. "Mom, this identification certificate must be fake, haven't we done it many times in Liberty Island? Daxia's medical technology is very backward, Mom, don't trust their appraisal. She belongs to the Huo family, so the dirty things she did can save her life. But if she wasn't, not to mention how the Huo family would treat her, even the other Liberty Island residents whom she had oppressed before would never let her go." Huo Shiyun could almost imagine that she would be met with extremely tragic retaliation. How could she be an ordinary person? But Huo Shiyun also has self-knowledge in his heart. She is afraid that she is really thanking her family. Madame Huo looked at Huo Shiyun, whose face was completely bloodless. She squeezed the seat handle tightly, and coldly spat out two words, "Check again." This time, the DNA samples of Huo Shiyun and Mr. Xie, Mrs. Xie and Mrs. Huo were tested. The identification results of the first two are still the same as those sent by the doctor. Only the third one has changed. The first hospital identified that Huo Shiyun and Mrs. Huo were not related by blood. Everything is clear. Huo Shiyun was paralyzed on the ground, her face extremely pale. "Due to physical reasons, I can't do more these days, so I can only keep it updated, so I'm embarrassed to ask for a monthly ticket. Everyone can vote as they wish, and vote if you like. I'll add more to you when my arm rests next month."